To me, this is the kind of e-bike that looks very similar to the Super 73, but it comes in at a fraction of the price. Currently, at the time of this recording, this bike comes in at around $1,100, whereas the Super 73 comes in around $3,000. And for some of the Super 73 bikes that come in at $3,000, they don't have full suspension on the rear part of the e-bike, but this one does, and it's still a fraction of the cost. So we're just gonna see how this thing works. Expectations aren't too high because it is at that cheaper price point, but I am pretty pleased to see that it has suspension. Looks like it has a nice seat and more stuff. So let's talk about all the features. First of all, it's got fat tires on it, 4" by 20" tires. These things are nice. They look very comfortable. I love this for riding on gravel roads and for taking it more off-roading because they help to absorb a lot of the bumps. And what also helps to absorb a lot of the rough terrain is suspension. So you can see here, it has front suspension and it also has rear suspension back here. Oh, this one doesn't budge quite as nice. We're gonna see how it actually rides. I don't think it's gonna provide that much support because I can't, like, with all my weight on it, I can't get it to move that much, but it has it here. We're gonna see how the ride quality actually is though, because that will be the ultimate test. That suspension is a little creaky. I don't know if you can hear that. Yeah, this is pretty smooth. Look, I can even go in the grass. And it's no problem riding in the grass. No issues at all with this. Yeah, it's very comfortable. Burn 'em. Redline it. I actually really think this is a fun e-bike. I really like it so far. I don't know, I'm happy like on it. See that suspension though? That's not bad, even for the front suspension there. Yeah, this is pretty smooth. Now taking a look at the handlebar setup, I like these grip pads. These actually are pretty nice. I like the quality of them. They're not plastic. They're a little bit different material, so they feel a little bit nicer. The throttle here feels pretty decent as well. It's a right-handed thumb throttle. And then you also have a 6-speed Shimano shifter here. And then you have your display, and I've actually seen this display on a few other of my e-bikes. Let me turn it on for you to show you it. But this is actually a really nice display. I love the way it looks because it gives you your battery bar up top here, which shows you how much battery life you have left, and it's very easy to read as well. It shows you your miles per hour, your pedal assist level, and your odometer, and you can obviously toggle between trip and other measurements. So taking a look at the control panel, it's a simple up click or down click of this button to change your pedal assist level. And then you also have a headlight button right here because it has this huge headlight on the front of this bike that is illuminated by LED lights in it, and it's pretty bright actually in my opinion. But I wish this e-bike had rear tail lights because it looks like it has the spot that you would see a rear tail light, but it just has this like metal piece right here. So I wish this was a light instead of just this paneling. And then it also has a horn, which is extremely loud. So, I mean, if you're ever riding this in the city or in traffic, it might be nice to just signal to vehicles that, hey, I'm a person on an e-bike, give me some room, don't hog the road. That's what that means, you know? The brakes, obviously, I don't love them. I love hydraulic brakes, and these are mechanical brakes, but at this price point, that's all you're gonna see on e-bikes is mechanical brakes. You rarely see hydraulic brakes when an e-bike is listed this cheap, but mechanical brakes work just fine. They still get the job done. They still stop you. They just might not feel quite as nice as hydraulic ones. I guess the brakes work okay. Okay, so something that's a little bit confusing when you first get this e-bike is it has this switch here on the bottom of the battery that you're supposed to keep it on when you're riding the e-bike, and then while you're charging the battery, you're supposed to keep it in this off position. You might forget to actually do this, and the bike will still run no matter if it's in this position or if it's in this position. The control panel and the bike will still run, but it's just better for it, I think, to be in this on position when you're actually riding the e-bike. It also has this display up here that shows you how much battery life you have left. I also have the Nakto Santa Monica e-bike, and you have to have the key on you to be able to operate your e-bike. This one you don't, you just need to use the key to actually take out the battery and put it back in. So I love that. I don't like having a key on me just to ride my e-bike, so I'm pretty pleased with this new setup that you don't require a key to drive it and operate it. Pedaling feels fine. I have seen in some other reviews that gear one, the chain is really close to the actual tire, so just beware of that if you're gonna ride it in that. But I usually ride it in like level 5 or 6 because it's an e-bike, so they go faster, so you get more resistance when you're in like gear 5 or 6. So I don't even think that's too much of an issue. And I usually just throttle these style of bikes. Now this e-bike does advertise that it gets 60 miles of range on one charge, but I don't think you'll get that full range if you're throttling the whole time like I am. It'll probably be on the lower end, maybe around 25 miles or something if you're just full on throttling and going up a lot of hills and all this stuff. But if you're just conservatively driving it, I bet you would get probably closer to that higher range. This e-bike has a top speed of 28 miles an hour as well. When you throttle on this e-bike, it's very smooth acceleration. It doesn't just jolt you forward and has a lot of torque. It's very smooth and natural feeling. So no matter what level of pedal assist you're in, it's gonna give you a nice gradual takeoff. I feel like this e-bike handles a little bit differently. It still feels pretty nimble, but it just handles a little bit differently. It feels a little bit larger, and this is a little bit heavier of an e-bike, and it comes in at around 80 pounds. So this is a little bit heavy. I'm gonna take it in the deep stones. I'm gonna get enough speed. I'm gonna come through here, hit that jump, swing around left. Oh, don't have enough speed. Got about this high of air, dude. Nitro circus, here I come. Something that I might change about it, or I would recommend to maybe change about it, is I would switch the placement of these two control panels, because I typically more so shift between different pedal assist levels rather than hitting a headlight or a horn. I typically use these dials a lot more, so I would keep these on the inside. That way it's easier to access, because right now I have to like reach farther for the things to change my pedal assist level. So I might swap the placement of these two little control panels. You can see that it also has like a large seat here, so you can fit someone else on the back end with you. If you have a hot date or something, you want to show off your new e-bike, boom, she could fit right here on the back. It doesn't have pegs that come with it, but you can always attach them to this little spot right there. You can attach some pegs. So yeah, get yourself some upgrades and get yourself a honey to ride with you. Oh, and you or your honey can be a little bit on the heftier side, because the weight capacity of this e-bike is 400 pounds. So just keep that in mind. I'm getting eaten by these bugs. I'm pretty pleased with the suspension. It's very smooth. It feels very comfortable to ride this. I feel like it's a cool looking bike. I personally like this kind of style. It just is unique and it's a little bit trendier. So, and I like that it's all blacked out. I mean, I'm like Batman up in here with this blacked out bike. It's pretty fun. When I was riding it, something weird that happened is when I was shifting between like 5 and 6, nothing happened. I think it like skipped a gear when I was shifting, and I couldn't get it to like work properly. So I think it skips either 5th gear or 6th gear. Honestly, despite some of those shortcomings, like I said, the shifting thing's a little bit wonky on it, I'm actually really pleased with this. I think for $1,100, this is a fun e-bike to have. If you're interested, I'll put a link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching this video, and catch you on another one.